Speaker Paul Ryan, Republican Wisconsin, said the many layers of controversy facing President Trump will not impede House Republicans from pursuing their agenda, the day after the Justice Department appointed a special counsel to probe possible collusion between associates of Trump and Russian officials. Ryan sought to project an aura of calm as a growing sense of scandal engulfs the White House. "It's always nice to have less drama," he acknowledged during a news conference Thursday. "I realize there's a lot in the media these days. That doesn't seize up Congress. That doesn't stop us from doing our jobs. Drama is not helpful in getting things done," he added, "but we're still getting things done." The comments came amid a second chaotic week on Capitol Hill in the wake of Trump's dismissal of FBI Director James B. Comey. New revelations about Trump, including his disclosure of highly classified information to Russian officials and his attempt to pressure Comey into dropping an investigation into the former White House National Security Advisor, have left Republicans reeling and increasingly frustrated by the president's behavior. Asked about private chatter among some Republicans that Vice President Pence would be a better chief executive than Trump, Ryan projected disgust. "I'm not going to give credence to that," he said. "I'm not even going to comment on that. There's not even a point making a comment on that." Attention on Capitol Hill quickly returned Thursday to Comey's firing, as committees awaited a response to invitations for him to testify and senators prepared to receive a briefing from Deputy Attorney General Rod J. Rosenstein. Mr. Comey was central to the events of the past few weeks, Senate Minority Leader Charles E. Schumer, DNY, said Thursday morning on the Senate floor. "We still need to hear from him." Comey has received invitations to testify from the Senate Intelligence Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee and the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. He has not stated publicly whether he will appear. The appointment of Robert S. Mueller III as special counsel took the pressure off many lawmakers, who felt increasingly pressed in the past month to support an independent commission or a special prosecutor to look into the Russia matter. Still, Mueller's appointment does not end the investigations already taking place on Capitol Hill, and lawmakers expressed a firm commitment to continuing their efforts. "We're going to keep doing our jobs, keep our Russia investigations going," said Ryan, who had rejected calls for a special counsel. Those efforts are taking place against a continually shifting backdrop of news and controversy involving the Trump White House. Earlier this week, The Washington Post revealed that Trump disclosed highly classified information to Russian officials during a meeting in the Oval Office. A day later, The New York Times reported that Trump had pressured Comey to drop an investigation of former White House National Security Advisor Michael T. Flynn, based on a memo Comey wrote summarizing their meeting. Congressional committees have sent multiple requests to the FBI and the White House to obtain any records of Trump's conversations with Comey. Among them was the House Oversight Committee, whose chairman appeared on television Wednesday night and disputed whether the Comey memo actually exists. "I'm not even sure these memos exist," Representative Jason Chaffetz, Republican Utah, said in an interview with Fox News Channel. "I'm not even sure they're real. I just don't know. I do think it's worthy of investigation. I think they should pursue it." Partisan differences also began to emerge on the matter of the special counsel. While praising Mueller for being as good as it gets, Chaffetz said he ultimately disagreed with the Justice Department's decision. "They shouldn't have actually appointed somebody," he told Fox News. "They're feeling the political heat. Maybe they're watching a little too much television and reading too many newspapers and whatnot." He added that he had not seen any evidence of actual collusion between Trump associates and the Russian government. "Where is the actual crime they think they need a special prosecutor to investigate?" Chaffetz said. "I haven't seen that." The Senate and House Intelligence Committees are the primary centers of investigation on Capitol Hill of the Russia matter. Chaffetz has been criticized for not using his power to investigate Trump. Representative Elijah E. Cummings, MD, the ranking Democrat on the oversight panel, called on Chaffetz to subpoena documents from the White House after the New York Times reported that Trump's presidential transition team was aware of investigations of Flynn before naming him National Security Advisor. There is no longer any excuse to allow the White House to continue stonewalling, Cummings said Thursday in a statement. The chairman either needs to subpoena the White House or let the committee take a vote. Cummings elaborated in an interview on MSNBC's Morning Joe. We need to look at the vetting process and how it takes place in the new administrations, whether they're Democratic or Republican, he said. I'm hoping Chairman Chaffetz and I can work together to get some things done. Outside of the issue of Congress's investigations, Democrats are expressing concerns about the possibility of improper influence by the Trump administration on Mueller's investigation. Several members of the party, including House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, California, said Mueller's appointment must be followed by the creation of an independent commission to oversee its own Russia probe. Speaker Paul Ryan wants House committees to continue their investigation of Russia's meddling in the 2016 presidential election, despite the Justice Department's move to name a special prosecutor to probe the matter. The Wisconsin Republican told reporters Thursday that the department's decision to tap former FBI Director Robert Mueller to lead the investigation doesn't at all interfere with the House Intelligence Committee's work. We are going to keep these investigations going here, as I've always said, Ryan said at a press conference. I think the intelligence committees are the right place to do an investigation involving Russia, involving another country interfering in our elections. And so, these committees are going to continue their investigations. The intelligence panel isn't the only one that's digging into the White House's ongoing Russia controversy. House Oversight Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz invited recently fired FBI Director James Comey to testify next week. The Utah Republican wants to question Comey about reports that President Donald Trump tried to get him to drop the agency's investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, before ultimately firing Comey. Asked about Oversight's work, Ryan was less clear, saying only that it is appropriate for the committee to make document requests into the matter. Ryan did not say whether Chaffetz, who has told sources he will resign on June 30 and head to Fox News, should step down from the gavel early. Ryan declined to comment because he said he did not yet know the details of Chaffetz's departure. Ryan also agreed with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's assertion that Congress could use a little less drama from the White House, namely because he wants to focus on the GOP agenda. Well, yeah, it's always nice to have less drama, Ryan said. People in the country need to know that we're busy at work trying to solve these problems. I realize there's a lot in the media these days, but that doesn't seize up Congress. That doesn't stop us from doing our jobs. House Speaker Paul Ryan said Wednesday he still has confidence in President Donald Trump, following a tumultuous 48 hours when the president has been criticized, including by those in his own party, about whether he asked then FBI Director James Comey to end an investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The Wisconsin Republican was asked on his way out of a news conference whether he still had confidence in Trump, and he responded, "I do." Ryan's comments offer a small but significant amount cover from a high-profile Republican leader to the president, who's feeling heat from both parties after sources revealed Tuesday Comey wrote a memo in which he said Trump asked him to move on from investigating Flynn. Trump has seen few Republican lawmakers rush to his defense and many are publicly demanding answers from the executive branch. Ryan told reporters and members of his conference that he wanted to have the facts before judging the memo. "The last thing I'm going to do is prejudge anything," he said during the news conference at the Republican National Committee. "I'm a person who wants to get the facts." Ryan essentially echoed this message in a closed-door meeting of House Republicans earlier Wednesday morning. "We should take our oversight responsibilities seriously regardless of who is in power," Ryan said, according to a GOP source in the closed-door meeting. "That means before leaping to judgment we get all the facts. the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, has requested documents. And we'll see where the facts lead. The news conference had been originally scheduled to discuss the Republican agenda on Capitol Hill. But given the bombshell news events since Ryan last went before the Washington press corps nearly 2 weeks ago, the questions did not focus on the major legislative effort he's trying to pursue. The House was in recess when Trump abruptly fired Comey last week. That was followed by a controversial meeting between Trump and high-profile Russian officials. The week ended with a volley of tweets from the president, including one threatening to release possible secret recordings of his conversations with Comey. Less than a week after Comey's firing, the explosive news cycle continued Monday night when the Washington Post first broke that Trump revealed highly classified information to the Russian foreign minister and ambassador during their meeting at the White House last week, and then again, on Tuesday night, when the New York Times first reported that Comey wrote a memo in February saying that Trump asked him to end the probe of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. CNN confirmed the details of that memo. During recess, Ryan made some public appearances and did an interview last Wednesday with Fox News, in which he largely defended Trump's decision to let go of Comey. "Well, I think the president lost patience and I think people in the Justice Department lost confidence in Director Comey himself," he said. Earlier that day, Ryan delivered in a speech in Ohio on tax reform, where he was chased by reporters asking him about the Comey story. He faced similar questions on Friday when he appeared at an event in Wisconsin, just hours after Trump put out a string of headline-making tweets. "I'm going to leave it to the president to talk about and defend his tweets," Ryan said, stressing that he wanted to work on other issues, like health care and tax reform. "Those are the things that I got elected to do," Ryan added. "Those are the things that are within our purview in Congress. So I'm working on making sure that we make good on our promises and fix people's problems. That's what's in my control, and that's what I'm focused on." It's an effort he'll continue Wednesday when he, alongside Representative Kevin Brady, will talk about tax reform, another big agenda item for House Republicans following their passage of the health care bill earlier this month. The House Ways and Means Committee, which Brady chairs, holds its first big tax reform hearing Thursday. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and White House National Economic Council Director Gary Cohn will meet with the Moderate Tuesday group. Along with Russia and Comey-related inquiries, Ryan could also face questions about the health care bill, which is now making its way through the Senate. Republicans in the upper chamber, however, have shown little confidence in the bill and have signaled that they're starting from scratch with their own bill. Republican senators have also expressed some frustration with questions of credibility now surrounding the White House while simultaneously derailing the GOP agenda and messaging. "It never helps," Senator Mike Rounds told reporters with a tinge of frustration, as he rushed into an elevator. Senator Marco Rubio said the situation and its distractions are certainly it's less than ideal, but it is what it is. According to Senator Jeff Flake, it's the new normal. "Well, whenever there's drama going on over there, it's tougher for the agenda here," the Arizona Republican told reporters. "But I suppose it's going to continue, so we'll have to get used to it." Asked by a reporter how Congress can help keep the White House focused on the legislative issues at hand, Senator Richard Shelby described it as a perennial problem. "I guess that's the task no matter who's in the White House and who's in Congress," he said.